You know those big holds that usually they're kind of slippery, and as a beginner you may even avoid climbs that have those kind of holds. There are many things that you can do to make sure that when you're using sloper holds, they're much easier, and there are also some things that you should avoid. So let's go through the 4 most common mistakes that I see when I see beginners learning how to use sloper holds. Number 1 is holding onto the hold for too long, hanging out trying to figure out what your next move is. The thing with sloper holds is it takes a lot of energy to hold your hand open and to keep your body in the position it needs to be able to stay in position. So instead, it's ideal to have a beat when you climb. One way that you can do this is by keeping track, so going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't forget your feet movement though, because sometimes when people are in such a hurry, they let their feet dangle, and that can lead to many mistakes. Move your feet, then move your hands. Move your feet, then move your hands, and just try and be as rhythmic as possible. Number 2 is you may only be climbing sloper holds statically or dynamically. And what I mean by this is a lot of times beginners will only be super static, slow movements to the next hold, and vice versa. They may only be moving quickly and drastically with dynamic movements. Both movements are great, but when it comes to slopers, it's actually best to combine the two. So when you make contact with the sloper, usually the best thing to do is to make static contact, and then you move up until your face is at level with that hold, and then you dynamically move to the next hold. The next mistake, and that is holding your body in the incorrect position as you're trying to move to the next hold or move on to that hold. And so you need to make sure that as you're climbing, especially on slopers, that you have your body position in the right place. Most of the time, sloper holds require your body position to have it directly below the hold and as close to the wall as possible. But there are situations where you need to maybe lean out, usually dependent on the shape of the wall. So you can see in this one, the shape of the wall makes it so that these holds are actually relatively easy to hold on to if you push your body away from the holds. So identify where your body position needs to be and practice getting into that position and learning how to get out of that position as you maneuver to the next holds. And this actually transitions perfectly into the 4th mistake, and that is just slapping your hand on the hold and hoping it's good. A lot of times I'll see beginners just stick their hand at the front face. In reality, those holds may be better to get from the side, and part of that is dependent on the size of the hold, the position that you have to move from to get to that hold, and sometimes it's just how long your fingers are. People with longer fingers might be able to do a hold that's just straight on, kind of like a ginormous jug, in comparison to someone with some smaller hands. They may need to put their hand to the side. Though what I have noticed is putting your hand to the side usually works a little bit better with those rounded sloper holds.